We've all been sitting around wondering, what the hell are they doing in Venezuela? Are they really going to take us to war in Venezuela? And here's a plausible explanation for what they're doing. And again, that's at a muse if people want to go and look at that.
I thought it was interesting because he really does try to break down, what the actual strategy might be given the pieces on the board that we see moving around. And because it doesn't, it is hard to believe that, we're going to land Marines in Venezuela and go fight a guerrilla war in the mountain jungles with Maduro's, Chavista supporters, and especially like it just doesn't seem like that's something even Trump could really. I mean, he could do it, but like he'd lose a lot of support. He's already bleeding a lot of support. It doesn't seem like that's something that would be politically wise. And so, what is it they're trying to do? He breaks down how much of that revenue is coming in from oil and drug smuggling and really very few sources ultimately, and how that money gets distributed and how the regime is really held together by just a series of layered cash payments to the different people who are responsible for administering it, and how quickly, if we were to step in and start interdicting ships that were bringing oil out in violation of our sanctions, the drugs obviously kind of goes to the question you were asking last week about like, since when does the US government care about cocaine? So it's implausible that they care about it on the user side very much. But on the other side, the supply side, the money side, if it is part of like a larger overall strategy to just deprive the regime of funding and put them in a position where, I think this is the thesis he has, and I think it makes sense, is that the goal, and we said something like this last week, is basically to try to overthrow this regime without actually firing a shot, with them just sort of recognizing that this is we're checkmated. There's nothing we can do here, and the people around Chavez, his generals, all the people there, getting just enough of them to say to themselves and say to each other, like behind closed doors and finally on camera, that this guy's got to go and we're going to change our policy. And if I were to learn that this is what we're doing, as opposed to ramping up to a potential hot war with Venezuela, then I would say, like, lesser of two evils wise, that's a good thing.